We want to become the kind of person whose words are charged with this intense voltage of energy that can change the minds and hearts of people. No matter how toxic, powerful, or dangerous they may be, you want to win them over to your way of thinking. Such a person becomes fearless because they know they can handle anybody. Many of history's greatest titans and business tycoons possessed this ability. Did they try to take advantage of people? Did they try to manipulate them? You may be surprised to know that many of them chose a far more effective method, which I am going to show you in this video. Vishal was in a hurry, tightly holding the soft hands of her elderly mother to catch a bus. When they stepped inside, his hopes of at least making her sick mother have a seat got shattered as the bus was filled with this intense heat coming out of the crowd, whose unconcerned faces were covered with phones. Vishal's eyes sparkled with determination as his attention turned towards a middle aged man. He uttered, "Sir, from your office outfit, it seems like your stop is coming soon. My mother cannot sit for long. You have got a mother yourself. So today, could you picture her in my mother and offer her your seat?" The office professional stood up instantly with his bag, letting the mother sit. Would he have given up his seat if Vishal had ordered him to? Probably not. Could we all learn a fine lesson in the art of influencing people from Vishal? He influenced the decision of the office professional by making him want to give up his seat. He appealed to the deep desire within all of us to not harm our mothers. He gave the middle aged man the opportunity to become the ideal person that he imagines himself to be by giving up his seat to her. You might ask, all that is fine, but how can I call this ideal person resided within when my friend has not returned the 10,000 rupees that I lended him 2 years ago? Do not jump to cold tactics as a first measure. Think, gaze within his mind. What kind of ideal person he imagines himself to be? You discover that he might be proud of being a man of his word. So listen to his story, his excuses for not paying you back. Sympathize and then tell him, "I'm guilty for doubting you. You know, I lended that money to you because you seemed like a man of your words. I knew that I could just forget about it by giving you the money because in matters of money, you are one of the wisest whom I know, and not like those lazy people, too slow to keep track and return the amount when asked. You ignited the ideal person in him, qualities which his pride is attached to, but only those qualities, those deep desires which were beneficial to you at the moment. That is, being a man of his words and being wise in terms of handling money. But you also made him subtly hate that person which you didn't want him to become at that moment by adding that bittersweet line, "You are not like those lazy people who are too slow to keep track of money." So, what choice does he have other than saving his honor in his own and your eyes by doing the right thing? You might question the effectiveness of these strategies by thinking how they might fit into this cruel world. My question to you is what you're currently doing working for you? If yes, please keep doing it. But if not, why not try something new? People do things in this world more for the reasons that sound good rather than the real ones. They are not a normal doctor, engineer, scientist, driver, shopkeeper, student, and so on. They are saving the world. We are all idealists at heart. Use principle. Call out the idealist at heart to convince people. A tired looking woman, Sneha, with weary eyes, stood on a local train. Her eyes closed repeatedly due to sleep, but she forcefully tried to open them again and again, and as she did that, a thought of getting out of this 12-hour office work struck her mind. She remembered that she helped her friend Prachi in her college days with studying for an exam for 1 year. She remembered that, okay, Prachi has become this successful businesswoman who doesn't call her anymore, who has forgotten her. She can start a business of her own if Prachi could financially help her. Sneha was now determined to get back the favor, and as she scrolled through her phone to search for a number, her mind raced and got heated with painful thoughts of betrayal, and she was already overthinking and foreseeing that Prachi will decline her request, and she was already in her mind responding to her, criticizing her. If she declines, I will teach that selfish woman a lesson or two, she muttered. But she paused this overthinking for a moment and thought things out from her friend's point of view. She said in her mind, what if I had the same body, mind, and parents as my friend? What if I had seen the glamour and ruthlessness of the business world? Would I have remembered the favor if I was in her place? She knew the obvious answer and called her friend, greeted her kindly, and complimented her on her recent new product. Prachi shared her joys, sorrows, and problems with her. Sneha listened to her for over an hour. She sympathized with her and said, I really couldn't be so driven for a purpose like you are, sacrificing your social life for something far bigger than you. Prachi was almost in tears. Where others have called her a selfish capitalist, Sneha portrayed her in a positive light, accepted her. Isn't that what love feels like? To be accepted as we are? When the timing felt right, Sneha casually mentioned that she is having a problem with her job. Naturally, her friend asked more, listened, sympathized back, and offered a contact of an investor who later invested more than 10 lakh rupees in her business idea, in Sneha's business idea. An amount she could never dream that she could get without even asking for it. So, friends, before we smash onto the face of others the list of favors that we did for them when they decline our request, let us think from their perspective. Let us see their point of view. Remember, we deserve very little praise for becoming the person that we think we are, and they deserve very little hate for becoming the person that they have become now. Accepting them means accepting their ways of thinking, their joys, problems, values, and so on. That is called that is called being a friend. Does a dog, a puppy, do anything other than accepting you, jumping in joy the moment they see you? They do not need to earn their living or ask us to feed them. We can simply see the innocence and the selflessness in their eyes, their love for us. Too many people have subscribed to the idea of a cruel world which always demands cruel measures. Love is always betrayed. If there was truly love in our hearts, complete acceptance, nobody could betray us, whatever they did. Friends, if tomorrow life circumstances ask you to be cruel to fulfill your requests, will you pause for a moment And remember the dog, the true friend that mankind has ever had. Principle: if you want others to do anything for you, begin in a friendly way. Let them feel that you are their true friend. Thank you for giving your precious time to this video.